One gift, one man, one life forever changed. Elon Musk's act of kindness will leave you in tears. It was a cold and quiet evening, the kind where the silence feels heavy, pressing against your heart. John, a devoted father and husband, sat alone in his dimly lit living room, clutching a small photograph in his trembling hands. The image showed him and his son, Michael, beaming with joy, arms wrapped around each other at a local park. That day had been perfect, one of laughter, ice cream, and Michael's favorite kite soaring against the azure sky. But now the memory felt like a cruel reminder of everything John had lost. Just months ago, tragedy struck. A sudden car accident shattered John's world, taking Michael's life and leaving behind an emptiness so vast it swallowed him whole. The once lively home now echoed with a haunting stillness. Michael's laughter, once the soundtrack of John's life, had been replaced by the muffled sobs he tried to hide from the world. John had always been a man of resilience, a pillar of strength for his family. But grief has a way of dismantling even the strongest walls. He couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. He wandered aimlessly through his days, drowning in the weight of what could have been. His small-town neighbors tried to comfort him, bringing casseroles and warm hugs, but nothing could fill the gaping hole in his heart. One evening, as John scrolled through social media, a rare distraction from his pain, he came across a post. It was a clip of Elon Musk speaking about innovation and hope for the future. Musk's words, "Never give up on what matters most," lingered in John's mind. It wasn't about technology or Mars. It was about finding purpose when all seemed lost. Desperate for some kind of solace, John decided to write. Not to a friend or a therapist, but to Elon Musk himself. He poured his broken heart into an email, a letter that wasn't just words but a plea for meaning. He didn't expect a reply. After all, Elon Musk was a man leading groundbreaking projects, not someone who answered the emails of grieving fathers. But something miraculous happened. A reply came, not from an assistant or a generic PR team, but from Musk himself. The message was short but heartfelt. "I read your story. Let me help." John was stunned. What could Elon Musk possibly do for him? Skepticism lingered, but for the first time in months a flicker of hope ignited in his chest. He couldn't have known then that this reply would set in motion a series of events that would change his life forever. What followed was nothing short of extraordinary. A story of kindness, innovation, and humanity that would touch millions and remind the world of the power of compassion. The days felt endless for John, each one blending into the next. Since losing his son, his life had become a shadow of what it once was. His home was filled with silence, punctuated only by the occasional rustle of leaves outside or the soft creak of floorboards beneath his weary steps. Each room held memories. Michael's toys, his favorite books, even the unfinished science project they had worked on together before the accident. One evening, unable to bear the weight of his grief any longer, John sat down at his kitchen table, surrounded by the echoes of a life he once knew. His heart was heavy, but his hands moved instinctively, reaching for a pen and paper. Writing had always been his way of processing emotions, but this time, it felt different. He wrote a letter, not just to anyone, but to the one person who had unexpectedly become a source of solace in his darkest days, Elon Musk. After stumbling upon a video of Musk speaking about perseverance, John felt a strange spark of hope. It wasn't the tech mogul's wealth or fame that struck him. It was Musk's unrelenting optimism and his vision of a better future. Through tears, John poured his heart onto the page. He wrote about Michael, his bright smile, his curious mind, and his love for building things. Michael had dreamed of becoming an inventor, inspired by Musk's journey and achievements. "He used to say he'd meet you one day," John wrote, the ink smudged by his trembling hand. "Now, that dream will never come true. But if you ever read this, please know how much you inspired him, and how much he inspires me to keep going, even when it feels impossible." John didn't expect a response. In fact, he didn't even know if the letter would reach Musk at all. He posted it online, thinking it would simply vanish into the void of the internet. But the world had a different plan. Within hours, the post began to gain traction. Friends shared it, then strangers, and soon it was being retweeted by influencers and journalists. The letter struck a chord, resonating with people who had experienced loss, those who admired Musk, and everyone who believed in the power of connection. It wasn't long before the story reached Musk himself. One quiet morning as John sipped his coffee, his phone buzzed with a notification. The screen lit up with a message that made him freeze in place. From Elon Musk. I read your letter. Let's talk. John's heart raced as he reread the words, disbelief clouding his mind. Was this real? Could someone like Musk, a man consumed by plans to colonize Mars and revolutionize the world, have taken the time to read his letter? The reply was simple yet life-changing. And unbeknownst to John, it was the beginning of a journey that would not only honor Michael's memory, but also change his own life, and perhaps even the lives of countless others, forever. For days, John couldn't believe the email was real. I read your letter. Let's talk. Those 5 words had come from Elon Musk himself, and they played on a loop in his mind. Could the man who juggled building rockets, revolutionizing electric cars, and shaping the future of technology really have taken time to respond to a grieving father? The doubt didn't last long. A second email arrived, this time from Musk's assistant, asking for John's availability for a video call. Mr. Musk would like to speak with you personally, it said. As he stared at the screen, John's hands trembled with equal parts excitement and disbelief. When the day of the call came, John sat at his small desk, dressed in his best shirt, his heart pounding so loudly he was sure Musk would hear it. The screen flickered, and there he was, Elon Musk, the billionaire visionary, smiling warmly. Hi, John, Musk said, his voice calm and grounded as if they were old friends catching up. Mr. Musk, John began. But Musk interrupted with a kind laugh. Please call me Elon. The conversation began with small pleasantries, but Musk quickly shifted the focus to John. I was deeply moved by your letter, he said. Michael sounded like an extraordinary boy. I'm so sorry for your loss. Those words hit John like a tidal wave. For the first time in months, he felt truly seen, his pain acknowledged by someone who had no obligation to care. Thank you, John managed to say, his voice breaking. He admired you so much. He wanted to be just like you. Musk paused, his expression thoughtful. It sounds like Michael's curiosity and passion could have changed the world. I'd like to help honor his memory in a meaningful way. What came next left John speechless. Musk explained his plan, a personalized gift that wasn't just a token gesture but a legacy. He wanted to create something that celebrated Michael's love for invention, something that would inspire other young minds just like his. I want to set up a scholarship in Michael's name, Musk said, his voice steady but emotional. It will support kids who dream of building, creating, and shaping the future, just like he did. John was overwhelmed. Elon, I don't know how to thank you, he stammered, tears streaming down his face. You don't need to thank me, Musk replied softly. You already gave the world Michael. This is the least I can do to ensure his spirit lives on. As the call ended, John sat in stunned silence. His heart, so heavy with grief for so long, felt lighter, filled with a mix of gratitude and hope. Musk's kindness wasn't just a response to a letter. It was a lifeline, a promise that Michael's light would continue to shine in the world. Little did John know, this was only the beginning. Musk's plan would ripple across the globe, touching lives in ways neither of them could have ever imagined. John didn't sleep that night. His heart raced with a mixture of disbelief and anticipation. Elon Musk, a name synonymous with innovation, brilliance, and ambition, had not only read his letter but was now crafting a way to honor his late son, Michael. What could this life-changing gift possibly be? John couldn't wrap his mind around it. A week later, a courier arrived at John's doorstep with a small, unassuming package. Nestled inside was a sleek silver key and a handwritten note. Every dream deserves a chance. Let's make Michael's dream live on. Elon attached was an address for SpaceX headquarters and an invitation to see the beginning of something special. The following week, John stood outside the towering SpaceX facility, his breath catching at the sight of rockets piercing the sky. A team member greeted him warmly and led him inside. It was surreal, like stepping into the pages of a science fiction novel. But nothing could have prepared John for what Elon revealed next. In a private room, surrounded by engineers and designers, Elon stood beside a large table draped in cloth. With a simple gesture, he pulled the cover back to reveal a stunning prototype, a scaled-down model of a groundbreaking educational lab kit. "This," Elon said, "is Michael's lab." The lab kit was more than just a science toy, it was a revolution in education. Designed for children of all ages and backgrounds, it was a portable, interactive set that allowed kids to experiment, build, and innovate. From creating simple circuits to programming basic AI, it was a gateway for young minds to explore the wonders of STEM science, technology, engineering, and math. John's eyes filled with tears as Elon continued. Michael's story inspired this. Too many children with incredible potential lack access to resources that nurture their talents. We're going to change that, starting with these kits. They'll be distributed to schools, community centers, and families in need all over the world, completely free of charge. John couldn't speak. His hands trembled as he touched the lab kit, imagining Michael's face lighting up at the thought of so many children having the opportunity to dream as he had. "Elon," he finally whispered, This is more than I could have ever imagined." Elon placed a reassuring hand on John's shoulder. Michael's passion and curiosity were extraordinary. "This is just the beginning. We'll call it the Michael Initiative, and it will grow beyond these kits, scholarships, competitions, mentorship programs. His name will become synonymous with hope and discovery." The first batch of kits was launched just weeks later, and the response was overwhelming. Videos flooded social media of children unboxing Michael's lab, their eyes wide with wonder as they assembled their first robots or powered their first circuits. The ripple effect was undeniable. Michael's legacy became a beacon of light for families across the globe. And for John, the knowledge that his son's dreams were sparking the imaginations of thousands became the greatest gift of all. When the first batch of Michael's lab kits was unveiled, the world took notice. Social media platforms lit up with hashtags like #Michael's Legacy and #Dreams in Motion. Parents posted videos of their children unboxing the kits, their tiny hands piecing together circuits and programming simple robots. Teachers shared heartfelt testimonials about how the kits were sparking curiosity and innovation in classrooms. But it didn't stop there. Something extraordinary began to happen. Inspired by Elon Musk's gesture and Michael's story, people around the world started finding their own ways to contribute. In a small town in Kenya, a group of young engineers set up a community workshop, using Michael's lab kits to teach local kids how to design water filtration systems. "We're building a better future," they said, holding up their creations with pride. In Brazil, a nonprofit used the kits to create a program for girls in underserved communities, helping them develop a love for technology and coding. "This is our way of breaking barriers," one of the organizers shared in a viral video. The story even caught the attention of philanthropists and celebrities. Donations began pouring in, not just to expand the Michael Initiative, but to fund similar projects aimed at making education accessible. A tech CEO donated $10 million to ensure the kits reached every corner of the globe. "This isn't just about one child's dream," he said. "It's about creating a world where every child has the tools to dream." For John, seeing these ripples of kindness unfold was both humbling and healing. He often received letters and messages from parents whose children had been touched by the initiative. One mother wrote, "My son built his first solar-powered car thanks to Michael's lab. He now wants to become an engineer. Your son's story changed our lives." John couldn't help but think of Michael each time he read those messages. He imagined his boy's bright eyes lighting up at the idea that his name was now synonymous with hope and opportunity. But the ripple effect wasn't limited to education. The initiative sparked a global conversation about grief, resilience, and the power of community. People shared their own stories of loss and how they found strength to move forward. Online forums and support groups emerged, creating safe spaces for those struggling with similar pain. Even Elon Musk wasn't immune to the inspiration. At a press event, he spoke candidly about the impact the initiative had on him. "I've built rockets and electric cars," he said, "but nothing compares to seeing how one boy's legacy is changing lives. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest spark can ignite the greatest fire." Michael's lab became more than just a project. It became a movement. And for John, the knowledge that his son's light now shone in the hearts of countless children was the greatest gift he could have ever received. As the months passed, John often found himself reflecting on the remarkable journey that had unfolded from a single letter. What began as a cry for meaning in his darkest hour had grown into something far bigger than he could have ever imagined. Michael's lab was no longer just a project or an initiative. It was a symbol of hope, a testament to how love and kindness could ripple across the world and touch countless lives. Everywhere John looked, there were reminders of Michael's spirit. A viral video from a girl in India showed her using the lab kit to design a water purifier for her village. Another post featured a group of students from a struggling school in Detroit building their first robot together, their laughter echoing through the screen. In those smiles, John saw pieces of his son, a legacy that lived on in the hands of dreamers everywhere. Yet it wasn't just the children who were transformed. For John, the pain of losing Michael had been an unbearable weight, one he feared would crush him forever. But through the generosity of a stranger, Elon Musk, and the kindness of communities around the globe, that weight began to lift. Instead of grief, he carried pride. Instead of despair, he carried hope. "It's not the size of the gesture that matters," John said in an interview, his voice trembling with emotion. "It's the intention behind it. Elon didn't have to respond to my letter. He didn't have to care. But he did. And because of that, my son's dream will continue to inspire generations." This story is not about wealth or fame. It's not about rockets or revolutionary technology. It's about the power of one human being recognizing another's pain and deciding to act. Elon Musk's gift was extraordinary, yes, but it was also a reminder of the potential each of us holds to change someone's life with a single moment of compassion. For every child holding a Michael's lab kit, for every parent sharing their story, and for every volunteer dedicating their time to this movement, there was an unspoken truth. The greatest legacies are not written in accolades or accomplishments, but in the lives we touch and the hearts we heal. John often returned to that small photograph of him and Michael in the park, the memory that once caused so much pain. Now it brought comfort. He could almost hear his son's laughter again, not just in his memory but in the joy of children halfway across the world, dreaming and building, just as Michael had always wanted. As the sun set one evening, casting a golden glow across his quiet home, John whispered a silent promise. "Michael, your light will never fade. Not in my heart, not in theirs." Because sometimes, the most unexpected acts of kindness don't just change one life. They create ripples that light up the world. Inspired by this story? Don't let it end here. Share it with someone who needs a reminder that even in the darkest moments, light can shine through. Together, we can spread Michael's legacy, one act of kindness at a time. If this story touched your heart, hit the like button, subscribe for more incredible stories, and leave a comment about how you've been inspired to make a difference. Let's make hope and compassion go viral. Star.